Reaching out to people you want to work with can be a super scary thing. Fear of rejection, getting ghosted, it isn't fun. I've tried a bunch of strategies to get people's attention in my 10 years as a freelance creative. From rocking up in person and uninvited to a production company, to sending emails with custom embedded videos. There's a bunch of mindsets and strategies I wish I'd known earlier. And in this video, I'm going to teach you these, giving you the best chance to stand out amongst the thousands of other creatives all trying to do the same thing. Get to the point. People are busy and you don't want to needlessly waste their time. So when you do reach out to them, make it very obvious in the first few lines why you're messaging them. All that waffle about how much you admire them and love their work, save it till later. If they're big in their particular field, they get way too much of that kind of admiration already. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't express any sort of admiration towards them, but if you can, ideally do this within the offer that you're sharing with them. For example, if you want to reach out to someone who you want to edit videos for, you could say something like, I want to help take the amazing quality of your videos to the next level. With this, you're not saying that the videos are and you're the solution to make them not but that they're already great creatives, and with your help, you can help them get to that next level. And if you can back this up with your portfolio, showing examples of the amazing editing skills that are clearly beyond what the creator is doing, they're highly likely to at least give you a shot. As for the subject heading of your email, don't try to clickbait them with amazing secret offer that I have for you. This isn't YouTube. Being a bit more formal with the subject can actually help you out. That means something like YouTube editing collaboration versus I want to help you make better videos, Jason. This sort of casual angle via email sounds spammy versus the more formal angle. Can you get somewhere sending a casual email subject? Sure, I reached out to a fellow YouTuber here in Budapest recently with the subject heading as helping each other make content. And that worked out pretty well for me. But as a general rule, something a bit more formal will often work out better to grab their attention so that they're gonna open up your email in the first place. Compliment people, but not too much. Also known as being likable. Speaking of grabbing people's attention, there's a fine line between complimenting people in a nice way or a needy way. And especially if you're reaching out to someone that you've been admiring for many, many months, it's going to be hard to rein in that excitement about the prospect of meeting up with them in person. So how do you come across as not just another fanboy? Use compliments that reference characteristics about them as individuals, not about their successes. Wow, 10 million subscribers is so cool. I'd love to work with someone as successful as you. No, more like you come across as honest and down to earth in your videos. They worked way harder for these things than the external success because their successes are down to these internal personality traits of theirs, not their external metrics. People feel good when you genuinely compliment them on their characteristics that are unique to them, and they appreciate that you notice these positive qualities that they have. Now, you can express certain things in a similar way that a fan of theirs might do, but don't create the vibe that you really, really, really need their attention. That'll come across as super needy and try hard. The vibe should be, I want this, but I don't need this. I'd be fine without this. If it happens, great, but if not, no biggie. There's plenty more opportunities out there. Not gonna lie, it is hard to embody this when, inside you actually really, really, really want this thing to happen. But it just takes time and practice to get comfortable with embodying the kind of persona of someone that would act and behave in this way. You're not lying or pretending if you do this. You're just behaving like a version of yourself that would actually feel like this about the situation. Doing this will actually humanize you because your non-needy but direct attitude is magnetic and makes you stand out amongst most people who often come across with an attitude and energy of like, take, gimme. Send video messages. As amazing as you can be at writing, in my opinion, nothing beats sending a video message to a person. If you're a video editor and you want to show your video editing skills, do an edited trailer to showcase what you can do with your editing skills and add on your voiceover or your face as a part of it. I myself did that and it landed me a trial day at the company that the now super popular entrepreneur and YouTuber Stephen Bartlett founded. It's better to have you as the person in it so that people connect easily with you as an actual human being rather than a digital faceless avatar, also known as Jimmy495@gmail.com. What a guy. I suggest using a video sharing app like Loom so you know when the person you sent it to has actually watched the video. So you're not left with this anxiety for days about whether or not they've even checked out your video yet, or they've just ignored it, or they're going on holiday, or they watched it and they didn't like it. Oh, what is that? Also with Loom, you embed embed the video link in the email so they get a preview of what your video and face is going to look like. So it just makes it a lot easier and convincing for them to actually click on it and watch it. I'd highly recommend that you get a decent microphone when you record this so you can sound professional. You can even use your phone mic just out shot above your head, because that's probably going to be better than your horrible distorted webcam mic. You grab their attention way quicker if your mic doesn't sound as awful as this kind of quality. In my opinion, unless you go to some kind of event and that person happens to be there in person, giving you a chance to meet them and shake their hand and say, oh, nice to meet you. A video message via email is one of the best ways to get someone's attention that doesn't already know who you are. And in a way, email might actually be better because you have their undivided attention when they open it up versus being at an event where there's a bunch of people who also want to meet them and get some of their attention. I'd also even argue that it's better than pinging them with a DM, because if this person is particularly big, you're just going to mix into their DM list amongst the hundreds of other fans and admirers who are doing the exact same thing. If you already have a big Instagram, then this might work, but otherwise stick to email. It's going to be better. You can always move to DMs after you've chatted with them for a bit through email, but first start with email. If they don't like your video message, it's highly unlikely that they'd like you even if you both met up in person. And no amount of stylishly crafted email would have worked if they don't vibe with your video anyway. I did this with one of my main clients, James Marshall of the YouTube channel The Natural Lifestyles. I wanted to work with him and he didn't respond to my first email, nor did he respond to a friend of his reminding him to watch the initial email that I sent to him. But he did end up responding to me after I sent a follow-up email with a custom video message embedded. And even if you do all of this and the person still doesn't respond, you can at least feel comforted. You did your absolute best and you can be proud of that, because it's only going to help benefit you when you actually make that second video to that second creator that you admire. Maybe not as much as the first creator, but you will when you end up working for them and they're giving you money. Find the person who knows your person. A step up from cold emailing someone is to find someone who knows that person that you want to get in touch with. That means that instead of directly reaching out to that musician that you want to do a podcast with, try getting in touch with somebody who already knows that person. Then if you both vibe and get to know each other, they can directly put in a good word for you with that individual. This is the exact strategy I did to land one of my main YouTube videography jobs with The Natural Lifestyles. I wanted to get in touch with James Marshall, the CEO of the company, but I knew that his friend, Sasha, was doing a conference in London. So I rocked up to that conference as an attendee, and on the second day, ended up befriending him a little bit and offered to help shoot some of the conference for free. A few days later, he then asked me to shoot some more stuff for his YouTube channel. And eventually I built up enough trust with him, so I felt comfortable asking if he could put me in touch with James. He did, and that was my warm opening to reach out to him with my offer of helping to shoot content for him. Now, you should still already like the person who knows that person that you really want to connect with. Don't just have it in your mind that you're using them as this weird bridge to connect them to the person who you really want to get in touch with. If you do this, you're probably not going to build enough trust with them unless you're a complete manipulative sociopath, so that they would eventually be like, yeah, this guy is actually a down-to-earth person and I want to connect him with this other friend that I have. Word of mouth and social proof are some of the most powerful ways to get someone's attention. It's why most people would rather click on a YouTube video that has 500,000 views versus one that has 40,000 views, even if the thumbnail on that lower view video is better. This kind of social proof often carries a lot of weight to entice you for that click. So if you can get a recommendation from someone that that person really trusts, it's going to carry so much weight. Usually this method is often really necessary if you want to reach out to really big or busy people, but for more non-famous people, it's likely that you can get their attention with just a video message rather than trying to spend weeks, befriending their friend and their friend's friend. But even if sending a video message for these people doesn't quite work, then the befriending method might just be your ticket in. Don't assume that everybody has been contacted before. With busy and influential people, we often assume that they have hundreds of people knocking on their virtual and real life doors, asking for advice and opportunities from them. But I think you'll actually be surprised how often people on these levels actually receive genuine and valuable offers for collaboration. I, for example, recently connected with a fellow YouTuber here in Budapest using the video messaging method. And beforehand, I was skeptical that my message would even be read by her. But to my surprise, she actually expressed how she almost never gets these kind of messages from other fellow content creators. What this proves is that often our own assumptions are the thing that stop us from even beginning to take any sort of action, because they're often misguided. And the only way to know if someone will like the offer that you have for them is to reach out to them. The big creators and individuals succeeding in their industries also want to meet down-to-earth cool people because they get a lot of weird attention from fans and not enough from people who admire them and can help them to make their creative journeys easier and more enjoyable. Often the best jobs out there are the ones that are not being actively advertised because the individuals are warm about needing the kind of help that you're offering them, but they can feel like they could work around not having your help. But when somebody reaches out in a calibrated way, offering something that's been in the back of their mind for maybe months at this point, that could be the trigger that they need to actually give it a try. It's like if someone has wanted to get in shape for a while, as soon as they get a new friend who goes to the gym regularly, the chance that they'll start going to the gym also massively increases. Just because they have that positive influence from you, and you're probably going to end up inviting them to join you a few times. And that massive barrier of even getting to the point where they've set foot in the gym, that's now way easier to break through than it's ever been. Now you know how to reach out to people, you'll need to make sure that you're not crippling your potential success by making these 5 creativity mistakes. Hit that subscribe button because if you do, I'll send you an authentic and passionate personalized video message to your inbox. Less scrolling on YouTube and more productivity. See you in the next video.